today in dynamics we'll start with continuum mass approach. Let us take an introduction first. Now, as we know in dynamics, the system is generally assumed having lumped parameters with discrete coordinate systems. However, the solutions obtained can only approximate their actual dynamic behavior. The precision of results can be refined by increasing the number of degrees of freedom considered in the analysis, making it a continuous system. The actual formal mathematical procedure for this is by means of differential equations. Now, but here the time and space are both independent variables. Hence, the formulation of equations of motion leads to partial differential equations. Let us understand this with some formulations. Consider a fixed beam. So the inertia force will be given as mass into acceleration. Acceleration indicated by y double dot. Let small m mass be the uniform mass of beam per meter length. So mass in the length of dx will be given as m dx. Now also it is known that the load intensity of UDLW will be given as EI d raised to 4y by dx raised to 4. Comparing that with the inertia force of dynamics, we'll say that is equal to minus y double dot m bar. M bar is cumulative of m dx. Negative sign indicates the inertia force being in the opposite direction of the applied force. So substituting y double dot as d square y by dt square, the equation becomes EI d raised to 4y by dx raised to 4 is equal to minus m bar d square y by dt square. Now here y is displacement and it is in terms of both independent variables space as well as time. Now when we talk about lumped parameter model, it is only dependent on time. We are not bothered about the space, but in continuous or continuum mass, space also is an independent variable. So y is equal to function of x comma t. So we'll say y equal to h of x into g of t. So from the previous equation, substituting these values and partially differentiating, we'll get ei h to the order of 4 of x dot g of t is equal to minus m bar h of x into second order of g of t. Rearranging the terms, the fourth order of h of x upon h of x is equal to lambda raised to 4 is also equal to minus m bar upon ei, second order of g of t upon g of t. So from the equation of the space variable, that is from h of x, we'll get fourth order of h of x minus lambda raised to 4 h of x equal to 0. Let's assume the solution being a e raised to sx. So the fourth order will be given as a s raised to 4 e raised to sx. Substituting these two values in the primary equations, the solution obtained of s is equal to lambda minus lambda, lambda I and minus lambda I. So the final solution of h of x is equal to a dash e raised to lambda x plus b dash e raised to minus lambda x plus c dash e raised to I lambda x plus d dash e raised to minus I lambda x. But we already know that e raised to I theta is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta, and similarly e raised to theta is given by this equation. Substituting these values, the final equation is as given: h of x equal to a cos hyperlambda x plus b sine hyper lambda x plus c cos lambda x plus d sine lambda x. Similarly, if you want to find out the value of g of t, we'll follow the same procedure using the very first equation. Here, lambda raised to 4 ei upon n bar is substituted in the form of omega n square. Also, we are assuming g of t is equal to a e raised to st. Substituting these values, the value of s is equal to I omega and minus I omega n. So g of t is equal to a e raised to I omega nt plus b e raised to minus I omega nt. Substituting values of cos and sine, this is the final equation of g of t. And the final deflection y is given as again multiplication of h of x and g of t. So using this formulation, let us just go through a numerical wherein a prop cantilever beam is given having length of 4 meter and mass per unit length is given as small m. Obtain the expression of displacement y of x comma t given that y of 2 comma 0, that means at x equal to 2 and time t equal to 0, the value of displacement is y0, and y dash 2 comma 0 is 0 using continuum mass approach. So the primary condition that we require to see is, as per the support conditions, we'll have to note down what are the boundary cases or boundary conditions. Because it is given a prop cantilever, we'll say at x equal to 0, the displacement y is 0. Also at the same point of fixity, the rotation is also 0, that is dy by dx is also equal to 0. Similarly, at x equal to L, we are on the roller support, the displacement again is 0, where y is equal to 0. We'll have a rotation there, but we'll have moment as 0. Hence we'll say d square y by dx square is 0 at x equal to L. So we have got 4 different boundary conditions from this beam. Starting from the very first condition, x equal to 0, where there y equal to 0 as well. So substituting these values in the original equation of y equal to h of x into g of t, what we'll get is a equal to minus c, constants. Similarly, substituting the second condition that x equal to 0, the rotation dy by dx is also equal to 0. G of t remains as it is. The h of x will differentiate that once. That becomes the equation. And substituting the value of x equal to 0, this term itself becoming 0, we'll get b equals to minus d. Substituting the third condition at x equal to length L, y is 0. So instead of x, you'll substitute L. We'll have an equation number 1 as written as this: a cos hyper lambda L minus cos lambda L plus b sin hyper lambda L minus sin lambda L. The fourth condition, x equal to 0, d square y by dx square is equal to 0. Hence, for this, you'll have to differentiate h of x twice. We'll have the term lambda square additional in each of the values. So rearranging these terms and substituting the values from equation number 1, which was this. From here you can have a ratio of a by b and substitute in this equation. Rearranging these terms again, we'll have cos hyper lambda L into sin lambda L minus sin hyper lambda L into cos lambda L equal to 0. Further rearranging, we'll get tan lambda L is equal to tan hyper lambda L. We'll find a single value of lambda L when this condition is satisfied. that value comes out to be 3.926, and substituting value of L equal to 4 meter, value of lambda is equal to 0.98. Substituting back in the first equation, the value of lambda and L will have B almost is equal to minus A. So the final value of deflection y is equal to h of x into g of t can be written in this form. Here A is written as A as it is. Instead of B, it is written as minus A. C again is written as minus A. D was equal to minus B, but we already know now B is equal to minus A, so D can be written as A. So from this equation, I can take A common out, and substituting the value of A into E as E dash and A into F as F dash will solve it further. Now in the given numerical, it is given at x equal to 2 and time t equal to 0. Displacement y is said to be as y0. So y0 is equal to cos hyper 1.963. 1.963 is nothing but multiplication of lambda as 0.98 into x equal to 2 minus sine hyper lambda x, again hyper 1.963, and similarly substituting all these values. Now from the above equation, e sine omega t is vanished because t is given as 0. So we are left with a into f cos omega t, and again cos omega t is 1 because t is 0, and a into f is nothing but f dash. So substituting these values, we'll have f dash is equal to 0.69 y0. Also another condition given was at x equal to 2 and time t equal to 0, y dash is 0. Substituting these values with differentiating the equation once, we'll have the value of E dash as 0. So the final expression of displacement is given as h of x into g of t. Substituting the values of a, b, c and d constants as well as e and f constants, the values can be given as this. E is 0, f directly we have not obtained, but instead of that we have a into f as equal to f dash, which was 0.69 times y0. So the final expression of displacement comes out to be cos hyper lambda x minus sin hyper lambda x minus cos lambda x plus sin lambda x whole into 0.69 y0 cos omega t. So for any value of the value of x and any value of time t, we are able to now obtain the displacement y with some given initial condition of y0. This is valid for prop cantilever having length of 4 meter. So for any other type of beam or support condition and any other length, the procedure can be modified accordingly with modified boundary conditions. In the next lecture, we'll see another approach to solve space and time together called Rayleigh's approach. We'll see in the next lecture. Thank you.